Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Ash. Welcome to my channel, Saved by an Angel, where I talk about anything that has to do with paranormal, weird stuff, and self-improvement. Because in 2014, I tried to take my life and Archangel Michael appeared. In this video, I'm going to talk about, did we really choose to incarnate? Now, I'll give a warning. I have filmed this video on 3 different occasions, and every time I deleted it because I was like, I can't help but to notice, come off as a little pissed off in this video. Every time I would delete it, right? But here's the thing. In 2014, the day after I attempted to commit suicide, I remember bawling my eyes out because I was still alive. And I remember making a fist and putting it to the sky and saying to God, if I was going to continue to be here, I needed to know what the fuck was going on. And, a lot of the truths that started to come to me and experiences that I had were not all positive. And ever since 2015, I've been working with shamans, and I've been following people in the spiritual community, reading books, watching YouTube videos. And I can honestly say that there's, that when it comes to you chose to being here, you chose to incarnate, I kind of have a different opinion than what everyone is saying. So, I woke up this morning and I saw a teal swan meme, someone who I, respect and admire in the spiritual community, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that I hear from everyone and how they throw this, you chose to be here. That you get in the spiritual community, they like to throw this in your face whenever you want to complain about this life being a shitty existence. You'll get thrown back, you chose to be here. Okay, that might be true on some level, but here's what I kind of see this as. Like when someone says you chose to, incarnate here, to me it would kind of be like saying, you remember seeing those horrific images on September 11th of people jumping out the building, right? The building's on fire, they decide they'd rather jump to their death. Well, if you were someone who lost a loved one like that, and you were talking to someone in the future, telling them, and all you said to them was, yeah, I lost so-and-so, they jumped out of a building, that might paint a completely different picture in that person's head of what actually happened, right? They're thinking, oh, they committed suicide. But then you say, oh no, the building was on fire, it was hit by governments or terrorists or whatever, but then it paints a completely different picture. And so what I'm going to attempt to do here, because for me, as a truth seeker, not all truth about heaven and the other side is roses and butterflies. It's not as picture perfect as it's been painted out to be. So, watch on. Viewer discretion is advised. Put your tag as eye bracelet on. So did we choose to come here? Well, here's the thing. As a soul, I actually remember being a soul before I incarnated here. And see, reality is so much bigger than a lot of people could ever imagine. What I mean by that is, imagine your thoughts of reality being, our existence, including our galaxy and everything that's out there, is just one grain of sand on a beach full of sand, right? And so as a soul, I'm a wanderer. I'm not from around here at all. And I remember coming up to these beings, even though they blur the image of these beings out for their protection. I remember being in contact with these beings and see, here's what it's like before you incarnate. So what the memories I have is picture that you're out in space and everything's black and there's like little dots, white dots everywhere around you, and all these dots represent different realities, different possibilities. And when you look from that point of view, and you got to remember, everything's energy there, okay? You're a soul, you don't have a body, you're flowing, you're just like wind with consciousness is my perfect definition. And you're in a place of unconditional love, right? And so you see all these places and they look fantastic. And then you see Earth as an option for incarnation. And I just want to paint a picture for you guys what it feels like to choose to incarnate onto planet Earth. Let's say you're walking through a park and you walk by some dog poo on the ground, and your friend's like, hey, why don't you pick up that dog poo and put it in your mouth for the rest of the walk? You kind of be like, why the fuck would I do that, right? And that's kind of how it is before you incarnate. You're like, well, why would I do that? And I remember having this conversation with one of these beings, and he said, don't worry, all you got to do is open up your heart and be love. And see, when you're already in that space, what I can almost assure is the reality for 99.9% of souls before they incarnate, is that we don't actually realize how shitty the energy is down here. And from my experience as a human being, I'd have to say that most humans down here don't understand how shitty the energy on planet Earth is because they have nothing to compare it to. And for 34 years of my life, I didn't either, until I started leaving my body and being visited by angels and Jesus, and being shown what real unconditional love is, what high vibration is. I start unlocking memories of past lives where we live on planets where there is no disease because the vibration's so high. There's no such thing as like tax, like travel's free, energy devices travel, you go wherever you want. It's like, oh man, the more I learn about other realities and then I compare it to this one, it's like, well, okay, whatever. But I think I've lost track of where I was going with this. So here's the thing. Yes, I remember now. So we don't really remember what it's like. We don't really know what it's like to incarnate down here as a soul. And so when we're told all you have to do is open up your heart and be love like Jesus did, what we don't realize is that it's so much harder to do that once we're actually down here. We go through traumatic experiences, and you know, it's a lot more difficult to open up your heart than we think. And so if you want to say that we chose to incarnate here, that's fine, but you probably had the perspective on the other side that you're going to incarnate down here once, be able to open up your heart and be out of it. What you didn't realize is that you're going to create all this karma. You're gonna experience all this sorrow that would, you know, dampen your heart, and then you're gonna get trapped in a reincarnation cycle over and 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 over again. Did we choose to incarnate here? Possibly. At one point we might have said yes, but I believe it was under false pretenses, and I believe we had absolutely no idea what this reality was actually like. If we did, I do believe nobody would have incarnated here. So I can go to sleep now with a clear conscience, having shared my piece, my reality. If this makes sense, then I'm glad. If not, then I'm sorry. But that's all I got, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.